Okay, welcome. We got another great video for you, another great property, and this one is located in Oshawa, Ontario. It's a fiveplex, and so well, just look at the screen. We're gonna start analyzing this property with the cash flow analyzer, all right? So let's have a look. So this property is 393 King Street East. So let's just go quickly. We're just gonna go through the description and just look at some of the pictures quickly. Nice property. Seems to be well maintained. Nice big lot in the back, good parking. So it's separately metered. You can tell just by these pictures. And I just noticed here too, it's a coin-operated laundry machine. So that's additional income for us. Okay. Really well, nice property. Nice looking property. So we got four. It looks like we have four, right? Four machines, probably two dryers, two washers, I imagine. There's 5 units, right? So it's going to be running probably quite often. Great parking in the back. Nice. Looks like it's well groomed. Uh, yeah, it looks like redone washrooms. Floors look great. Looks like these have been redone. The only only thing that I'd be concerned about is this radiating heater, right? So again, I just had to look at the quick descriptions here. We're going to read this quickly, but it is tenants are paying utilities, all right? So it's a legal 5-unit building, unbelievable investment opportunity, great location, separate meters, tenants pay utilities, hydro. So there is, the mix is a 3 2 bedrooms and 2 1 bedrooms. So they have the potential rent here of 2,000 for the 3 bedroom and 113.50 for the 1 bedroom. But we're gonna have a look at another source to see if if we can get more money for that. Which is we call Zoomer.com, and I'll show you in a second. 2 coin operated washers and dryers perfectly. Alarm system and updated plumbing. Large labeled parking spots, lots of storage. This is all great things for investment property. Close to transit, 5 fridges, 5 stoves. Rent out 4 of the units can be rent on 4 of the units can be raised to this year's rental guidelines, which means maybe one is already at that guideline and the other 4 is has the opportunity. So in Canada, the legal opportunity to raise rents is 2.5%, which we'll get into analyze the deal. Okay, first things first, what we're gonna do is we're gonna copy the address, because you look at so many properties, it's hard to maintain. So we're just gonna come in here, we're gonna copy the address in here. We're gonna go with the market cap. So the market cap in Oshawa is about 5%. Number of units, this is a fiveplex, so we're gonna go 5 here. So we're gonna come over here. So as you can see, the price is about 1.3 million. So we're just gonna put that in, right now. Down payment, we're going to put 20% just to start off. It's probably going to end up being at 35%, just because it's a fiveplex, all right? It's a commercial property. Interest rate, we'll leave it at 5, and so forth and so forth. Okay, so let's go start off with the rent, all right? So what I like to do is that I know they have this information here, but what I like to do is I usually like to use Google, and I'll just search what's the average rent in, let's say, Oshawa. And in this case, I already have here Oshawa. So I'm gonna put in 2 bedroom. So 2 bedroom is 1,000, just roughly $2,000. Okay. So the mix was 3 2 bedrooms, was it? Let's have a quick look again. 3 2 bedrooms. Yeah, 3 2 bedrooms right here, and I believe it's 2 1 bedrooms, which gives us 5. Okay, so 3 2 bedrooms. We're gonna put 3 here. We're gonna come here. We're gonna put 3. We're gonna put 2 1 bedrooms. So we said here the average rent for a 2 bedroom is about $2,000. 2 bedroom we're gonna put in here 2 grand, and then we're going to do 1 bedroom. So we're gonna click down here. If you just do Google, you search what's the average rent in whatever area. It'll usually the first one is Zoomer. You click on here and this gives us a pretty close. It's pretty close to what the average rent is in the area. Okay. So we'll use this until if this is a property that you like, you're gonna start getting the rent rolls. You're gonna get the P&L, which is the profit and loss. Basically, it's the offering memorandum, the OM. So you just call up the realtor in this case. So you go up to the listing here, or if you have your own realtor, just deal with them. They'll reach out to the landlord or the existing. So FRANCESCO is actually a broker on record here for this property. So you just have to reach out to him. Okay. And you will need that information to start to narrow it down, okay? And that's actually going to be the stuff that you're going to need to finalize those that income. But right now we're doing preliminary analysis. We're trying to see, does it even make sense to go even to the next step, okay? So we're going to come in here. So we put in the we put in the amount here, and the amount shows that we're looking at 9,390 per month, okay, which just gives us about a 112 per year. We're going to put a 5% vacancy, okay. We're going to come here. We're going to put a 5% vacancy. So that in the anticipation or in case there's a tenant that vacates or they don't pay their rent, we need some kind of surplus of money to compensate for that, right? So, okay, expenses. Taxes are going to probably be this. These are rules of thumb. So what we're going to do is everything in blue is what you put the information in. What I like to do is just to make it, to streamline it, to make it faster. What we're going to do is, because tenants are paying utilities, there's a rule of thumb. Tenants pay utilities, you pay 35 to 40% of expenses. If the landlord is paying utilities, it's about 50%, okay? So in this case, tenants are paying utilities. We're going to put in 30% here. So we already have 5% here. If you can see here, 5% for maintenance and repairs. So right now we have 35%, which is about right, 35, 40%, okay? So we're bringing in terms of income, we're bringing in, something happened here. Oh, something happened here. $2,000. Yeah, that didn't look right. Okay, that's better. Okay, so 2,000, so 2 1-bedrooms, 3 2-bedrooms. So that gives us 5 units, right? This is the average rent. So the operating income was 117, and the expenses right now are 39. Okay, 39, roughly 40,000. We're gonna add a couple more expenses to it, okay, to make it a little more realistic. We got a 5% vacancy on this. Okay, so first things first, look at the cash flow. The cash flow is pretty big, right? That's pretty huge. And so obviously the expenses are still too low, I imagine, okay? So again, we're gonna narrow these down, and we're just a preliminary analysis. So we're gonna try and maximize as much as possible first and then go from there, okay? So we're gonna raise the rents 2.5%. 2.5%. Laundry, there's a coin-operated laundry machines, right? So there's 5 units. I'm gonna put in about 500 a month, okay? I think it's reasonable. Parking, we're not going to charge for parking. They may. It doesn't indicate here in the description, but we may. Okay, so we're going to go with a pet. I always like to put in at least one because more than likely I got a pet. Everybody I know has got a pet. So if you're, if you're moving and people are moving, and more than likely they got animals. All right, no cats, but yes, dogs. Dogs are pretty clean. Okay, so we're going to put in, and we do is you can charge an additional $100 a month. Okay, deposit fee $100 a month. That's just a one-time cost in case the dog damages the property. And it's just like a secure deposit. Tenants pay utilities. We're going to click on that to show tenants pay utilities. Energy efficient lighting. So basically, it's a small place. There's not very many common areas. I'm pretty confident that it's not going to make much of a difference. Okay, we're talking about 20, 30, 50, 100 units building. You're going to have a large common areas. That's where it makes a big difference. Lower interest rates. So we got a 5%. You might be able to get 4.5, 4.75, something like that right now. But we're going to leave it at 5% for now. Okay. Increased down payment. Okay, so this is a commercial property. So anything 5 and above is considered a commercial mortgage. Okay, so which means lenders look at your credit and look at you as a borrower, but that's down the line. They first want to make sure that the property will cash flow, okay? Because this is a cash producing property. So yes, they'll look at your income, but that's not the primary focus for them. All they want to know is, can the property cash flow? And so because of that, we're going to do is we're going to, I put 203, so we're going to put that back to 20%. That's probably why that cash flow was so high. That makes more sense. Must have put in, when I was adding the information, I probably added in the wrong place. Okay, so just let's scan this and make sure we got this right. 1.2, 20%, 5% down, and 30-year AM. Okay, so we're good. So we're cash flow of 3,000, which is not very much, right? But we're still going to do a couple steps. We're going to reduce the expenses. Remember, to maximize the cash flow on the property, increase income, reduce expenses. So we're in the reduce expenses section, okay? So we're going to come down to increase lower interest rate. Now we're going to leave it at 5. How about increase down payment? So Again, with a commercial property, they're going to usually commercial lenders will only lend you 75% loan to value, which means you have to come up with 35% of the total purchase price. So in this case, we have 20% down, as you can see here, but what we do is we're going to put in 35% because that's probably what they're going to require, 30 to 35%, okay? So we're going to have 35%. And obviously, you can see here the cash flow. It brought it up to 15,000 a year, which is 1,746 a month. Okay, so now the best thing about a commercial property, and that's why I always say, if you can buy it, buy higher, buy more, because you have so many other benefits. Okay, so how about amortization? Usually, this 30 years in amortization, but if we get you exception, and it happens often, we can potentially get that to 40 years. So we're going to put in 40 years in the event that we can get the exception, okay? So you put in 40 years and see if you look down here, right away, it's already brought it up to 21,000 per year, okay? But we're not finished yet because this price, the house price is too expensive, okay? For this, and especially in Oshawa, this is way too much money. So self-maintenance and repairs, we're just going to leave it at that. We already have the 5%. But remember, what about the rent guarantee? So we have 5%, remember, for our vacancy. But what we do is this rent guarantee program, I mentioned this many times, is basically they'll come in, you pay them 5.5% of your total monthly income, and they will guarantee the rent is there every month. They'll pay you in the event that there's no tenant, okay, up to 12 months. There's a lot of other things they do. If they have to evict a tenant, they'll help you evict a tenant. They'll hire a lawyer to help you do that. They'll pay you up to $10,000 in the event that sometimes they leave and they damage the property. They'll give up to $10,000 to refurbish, fix up the property. They'll find a new tenant in case the one leaves, and they'll also pay if you have a tenant that maybe loses their job, not getting any income. They'll come in and they'll pay up to 12 months of your rent. Okay, so this is basically a guaranteed program that they'll help you sleep at night. Okay, that's one of the biggest fears of an investor, is that your tenants don't pay your rent, and so it can be challenging at times. So what this company does just ensures that it helps you with that situation. Okay, so we're going to hit in the drop down, we're going to hit yes. So when we hit yes, as you can see, the percentage goes here. So 5.5% goes into here automatically into the expenses. So right now we got 30 plus the 5.5 plus 5. So we got 40.5%. Remember what the rule of thumb is, 35 to 40%. So we already have 40%, 40.5%. But if we do this, if we put the rent guarantee in, now we got to take out the vacancy. We don't need that money, right? Because we know that the rent is going to be covered. So we're going to put in 0. We're going to hit enter. Okay, so we're at 20 grand right now. Okay, so what can we do? Is the expenses pretty high? 116 is your income, total operating income. Total expenses is 46,776. So this is the cash flow. Are you happy with this? It's not bad, right? I mean, 1,600 a month is not bad. But let's try and improve it. Okay, so finally, last thing is the price. The price is, I'm sorry, but it's too expensive. Okay, so I wouldn't pay this amount personally, right? So I'm gonna try. Let's do it at. We're gonna take down $100,000 because it's about 1.3. Let's do it at 1.2. So we're gonna go 1.2000, and we got 1.2. So what is our cash flow? Our cash flow is at 24.7 now. Okay, so are you happy with that? So we're gonna scroll down here, and we're gonna show you a couple things here. Okay, so if you look up here, right under the cash flow per year, per month, and then we have after 5 years, this is the potential cash flow of 123,524, and a refi. Okay, now I had set and I'll show you down below is where we have a 5-year projection, or you can refi it or you can sell it. Kind of gives you an idea how much the value could be worth based on a certain percentage. So right now, I checked online in Ontario. The appreciation of properties is actually 8.42%, right? And so most people appreciate homes at 4 in the past, but because the crazy amount of prices for homes now, the appreciation has skyrocketed, right? Okay, so this number you see is 1.5. So after 5 years, we can potentially refi that. Means we're going to take 80% of the money out of the property, take it out, and then do something with it, which means we're probably going to buy another property. So think about it. You're going to purchase this property after 5 years. You could potentially take out 1.5 million, right? Million, and use that to purchase another property. So it's a great deal, right? If you think about it that way, right? So, okay, so the property is at 1.2. So now what I always like to do is in the description, I'll tell you how many days the property's been on the market. It's always more days, it's obviously a better opportunity of reducing the price. So right now, as you can see, it's only 44 days. So it's just over a month, okay? It's not too bad, right? Obviously, it's not selling yet. So, what are the reasons? There could be a number of reasons, but through your due diligence, you won't really know. So what we're going to do is, the best thing to do is what we do is we can essentially, we can raise the down payment. But right now, according to this, you're going to need about 420,000 in down payment. So the way I look at it is this, like every house is appreciated, basically every house in Ontario is appreciated and with no justification. Really, come on, let's be honest, right? Like every house, as far as I know, has gone up $200,000 to $300,000 for doing nothing because of COVID. Okay, and there's no rhyme or reason. It's just everything's inflated, and everybody's they want to get in the market, so everybody started overbidding, and then and obviously with inflation and everything else, it raised the home prices dramatically. Okay, which means that you have sitting equity in your house that you probably weren't even aware of, right? So again, you've already paid down your mortgage for some time. You now plus the additional 300,000. This can be very attainable. Get a $420,000 refinance on your home, and you purchase this existing property, or maybe you have savings. I don't know, but this is my job. My position is trying to help people because I'm a mortgage broker and I'm an investment property specialist. Is I'm trying to figure out a way to get people into purchase more properties. And so there are a lot of strategies that we use, but right now is we're going to do is we're going to assume that, let's say you have that money is sitting in your home in terms of equity. Okay, so we got 35%, 420. So if I scroll down here, this is obviously a good deal, right? We've got 4 green lights, which means our deal cap is above market cap. We got a cash on cash return of 5.88%. Monthly profit just under 2,000, and a year to cash out. Now you got to look at this, for example. So let's say your mortgage payment is $2,000 a month, $3,000. I don't know. It depends, right? But let's say it is $3,000 a month. You can essentially purchase this property. Now you got basically it's covering a majority of your monthly mortgage payment, right? The cash flow off of this is potentially paying off most of your mortgage payment, depending on how much it is. But now if you look over here, if I look up here, I have 30 plus 5.5 and 5.5. So I got 40.5%. But remember, the rule of thumb is 30 to 35% if the tenants are paying utilities. So let's say we're going to lower this a little bit. Okay, so right now we're looking at 24. We got 24,705 in terms of cash flow. Just under 2,000 a month, 1,992 in monthly cash flow. But I'm going to reduce this just by 5%. So we're going to bring it down to 35% expenses. Okay, looks like they renovated one of those units or more than one unit, which means the expenses are going to be a little lower. I think just the hydro is the problem, and the tenants are paying it, so that's going to help. So I'm going to put this down to 25%. I just want to see what the difference is. And there you go. So it's 30,000. Okay, 30,000 a year, which brings it to 2,473 a month. That could be your mortgage payment, right? Boom, paid. Now you're living rent free. You got an investment property. I mean, mind you, you're gonna have to take you're gonna have to borrow 420, which is gonna raise your monthly mortgage payment. But this is gonna compensate for that because you're gonna be maybe the payment went up $2,000 a month, right? So you're borrowing it, but by buying this investment, it's actually paying that for borrowing that 420,000, right? Depending on what rate you get and all those things. So that's why it's just a no-brainer. It's a great investment, right? And so yeah, we scroll down here. So essentially, what you're going to need on closing costs, lawyers, all those kind of things. When you purchase a property, land transfer tax, you're looking at about 429. Okay, looking at about 430,000 to purchase a property. That's out the door, roughly. Okay, pretty close to it. Your offer price is 1.2. But let's say 1.2, it's only $100,000 off. This is an investment property, okay? these properties, income properties, are treated differently than your single family residential property, okay? Usually those things have not much room for negotiation, and they're usually, have multiple offers. In this case, it's not. It's been on the market 44 days. Why? Because it's an income producing property. It's different, right? So they're investors. They understand how it works, right? They understand how investment properties work. It's negotiable. Maybe you can maybe you can get a vendor take back on this. Maybe they'll hold back 300,000 or whatever, right? That's something you're going to negotiate, and I can help you with that. And I have real estate agents, even in Oshawa, that are specialized in investment properties, and we can kind of negotiate that. So what you can do is you pick up the cash flow analyzer. You can go to Guaranteedcashflow.ca, pick it up. There's a lot of crazy, unbelievable bonuses in there too. We got broker scripts to help you get off-market deals, all kinds of things. So this is a great opportunity. You start playing with the numbers. If you feel comfortable with these numbers, what you do is it's going to come up to here. You're going to go to File, Save As, save a copy, and you're going to save a copy on, let's say, under this address of this property, right? You can analyze two deals side by side. So if I bring this over, you can uprise property 2. And that way, so if you're conflicted about one or two properties, you put them side by side, and then here the recap of the overall perspective of whatever we put in terms of the numbers up there. You're going to be able to see them here, and you can kind of say, oh, weigh the options. Is property 1 better than property 2? So it's kind of cool. It's fun. I'm going to show you quickly down here what the other stuff. Vendor take back. If you want to add a vendor take back in there, maybe that's could be the strategy. In the event that there's no mortgage on this, the landlord doesn't, or the owner doesn't have a mortgage, they may be able to become the bank and hold a portion of the loan, right? So again, these are rules of thumb. So here you have these are expenses. So again, up here I put in just 30% just to make it faster. But once we start narrowing down these numbers, you're going to go individually. You're going to say, okay, electric was this, insurance is this, You're going to add all this information. But right now, this is pretty accurate. It's about 35% I have here, and that's roughly what it's going to end up being, anyways. Okay, so and then you're going to come back here. We're going to go rules of thumb. So you can use these numbers in yellow if you want, just copy and paste it. Or this is that 5-year return that I mentioned earlier. If you want to sell it in 5 years, you want to refi in 5 years, and everything in blue here is you're making the adjustment. So for example, I put 8% here because 8.42% is the appreciation rate right now, right? You can change a number of things here, and that will reflect up above. Okay, so this is the cash flow analyzer. It's pretty amazing. It's really fast. It's fun to do. You pick a property, start plugging some numbers in, and see what you come up with. Okay. So essentially that's it. Now, in this case, what I would do personally is 1.2. This is only $100,000 off. I don't even think this is worth 1.2. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Okay. So I'm gonna put in 1.1. Sorry, 1.1. I just want to see the difference. There you go. So 34. Okay. So went to 34 a year, 2,785 a month. So, if I'm taking a mortgage out for, that's even less now, obviously, right? Because we reduce the price. So 385. So on closing, you're going to need about just under 400,000. You could have 400,000 sitting equity in your bank, in your apartment, in your house. So when you do a mortgage for this property, you're going to say, I'm going to purchase this property. It's going to bring in so much income. We'll use market rents for it, and we'll use that income. We're going to use that 2785 per month. We're going to add it to your income to help you qualify for this property. Okay. There's a lot of strategies that we can use to help you finalize this. That's my job, is to help you get you in your help you purchase investment properties, get you into the door, and hopefully hopefully secure your financial future. Okay, so this is another great property. I think this is a great property. This is what I would purchase at. This is the offer I put in at 1.1. To be honest with you, maybe just a little higher. I don't know. Just send in an LOI, which is a letter of intent. Just send it in with your agent. They know what it is, and they'll submit it to the landlord. The worst they could do is say no, or they'll come back and counter offer, right? So guys, if you like this video, I got plenty more on the channel.